chopped head is cheaper than a chopped tree. These were the last dying words of Amrita Devi Bishnoi, who embraced death to protect and save the khejri green patches around her village. Hello friends, I am Dr. Ayantika and today I am going to discuss about Bishnoi movement that started in 1730. This Bishnoi movement is precedent to all other movements that were to come in both independent as well as British controlled India. So deep was the impact of these movement that uh, these movement was the strategy of hugging trees and protect in order to protect them was followed in later movements like Chipko, Pikko and Jangal Bachao Andolan. So this is a Gujarat set question that came in this year, that is November 2022, and there the question was to match the following correct uh, option, and there was about the Chipko movement, Narmada Bachao, Green Revolution, and Bishnoi movement. So today I will be only discussing about the Bishnoi movement, but of course I will be answering in this question at the end of this video. Bishnoi movement, it started when Abhay Singh, the then Maharaja of Jodhpur, he was building a new palace and he required some timber or wood to furnish and decorate his new palace. So he issued a royal decree to chop few Khejarli tree or Prosopis tree from the green patch on outskirts of the town. But this green patch, adjacent area of this green patch, were inhabited by the Bishnoi people. They are a subsect of Vaishnavism and they led a very simple life following 29 principles, all the 29 principles, they were based on eco conservation. That is, conservation, protection of the natural flora, that is, the plants, as well as the fauna. Not only did they do eco conservation, but they were very compassionate people. And in fact, certain vices like drinking, smoking, and killing of animals, even killing of trees and lopping or chopping of the branches of the trees, they were banned in this sect. So we see that even so many years before our independence, in those days, they such advanced thought people they existed. So when the king's men they started to they came to chop down the trees, the khejri trees and the black buck. These are two very much revered objects, revered living things that the Vishnoi people they are very much pious to the Vishnoi people. So when the king's men they came to chop down the khejri tree, so they were confronted by the villagers, and Amrita Devi Vishnoi and her three daughters they requested the king's men, the lodgers, not to chop the trees, but when they did not pay much heed, she embraced the trees, knowing very well that this is a royal decree and she could die. She could die because of non-obeisance of the royal decree. But still, she was so much adherent to the 29 principles of eco conservation that she embraced the tree and said that she will embrace the death, but the trees should not be chopped. So the king's men, as it was a royal decree, so the king's men they felled the trees, they chopped down the trees along with beheading Amrita Devi and her three daughters. So before she died, Amrita Devi uttered the words that chopped head is cheaper than a felled tree. Now, these were the words, these were the magical words that encouraged again 365 other villagers to come forward and protect the Khejdi tree. They were well aware of the fact that this is a royal decree and non obeisance of the royal decree or royal order will bring death to them. But they were so much, the eco conservation was so much ingrained in their cultural and religious belief of Bishnoi people that they also embraced the trees in the same way as Amrita Devi and met the same fate as Amrita Devi. They were also beheaded along with the trees. The trees were chopped, and before the trees were chopped, these 365 Bishnoi people they were beheaded. So this is a massacre. And when the king, the Marwari king of Jodhpur, he came to know about this incident after 5 days, he was very remorseful, and so he designated that this green patch for which the massacre has occurred, no trees shall be cut, and that green patch will be a reserved area, and that decree exists till now. So, and after this massacre, this village of Jalmadi came to be known as Khejarli. And in fact, on the day of this massacre, that is the Shukla Dashami, all the Bishnoi people they gather in this in the very spot where this massacre has occurred. The king has erected a mausoleum to commemorate the mariters who say in order to save the trees they uh, laid down their own life. So, to commemorate Amrita Devi and all these brave 365 Bishnois, a mausoleum was erected by the king, and all on the day of the massacre, to commemorate all the Bishnoi tribe, they gather in this place. So, this was how a very a commoner village woman as well as other villagers they protected their green patch adjacent to their village. But this movement, this strategy of hugging the tree in order to protect it, this was later utilized by other eco conservation movements like chipko, which was spearheaded by sundarilal bahuguna, Apiko movement, that is in um, this Chipko movement was in Uttarakhand, and this Apiko movement in Karnataka and Uttar Kannada. So, in this Apiko movement was spearheaded by Pandurang HK and Jangal Bachao Andolon in the Chotanagpur Plateau region. All these use the strategy of embracing the tree in order to protect it. But apart from that, in the current scenario, uh, has actually found that there has been a degradation of environment in the Orans or the sacred groves of Rajasthan. This is because of many facts. First, the climate change. Second is that another parasite, that is the Gonoderma lucidarm, this parasite has parasitized many of the prosopis trees, which has led to reduction in the density of the cagedly tree. So these are the green movements which were inspired by Bishnoi movement, which act as a precedent, a prototype for environmental protection movement in India. So this is the picture where we see that uh, the protagonist of Chipko movement, that is Sundarilal Bahuguna, and Panduram Hejke, Pandurangji. He is they are together hugging a tree, and it occurred during the Apikko movement in Uttar Kannada. So the Bishnoi people, they live this very simple but very scientific life of protecting the environment by not chopping down the tree, not harming the natural flora and fauna around them, and protecting them. And in order to commemorate the martyrs of the Vishnoi movement, that is Amrita Devi Vishnoi, along with many other, that is the 365 villagers, in order to commemorate their martyrdom. The national government, that is the state government as well as the central government, has instituted to award this Amrita Devi Vishnoi Wildlife Protection National Award. It is given by the central government, and Amrita Devi Vishnoi Smriti Paryavaran Award is given by the state government to people who has done equally valorous deeds. So uh, this Sri Birbal Kirchar Lohawat, he is a Bishnoi sect people who sacrificed his life in order to save the life of gazelle. The similar type of incident, that is Gangaram Vishnoi, he was also shot by the poachers in order to save a certain deer. Also, another incident, that a very young boy, he also fought with the armed poacher and saved a black buck. This black buck, they are very much venerated by um, the Bishnoi sect, because they were just thought to be incarnation of their guru Baba Jambhoji, that I will be discussing in the next slide. So we see that though it started in the Vishnoi movement, it started in 1730s, but even in this present day, the Bishnois, they have adhered to their very scientific 29 principles of protecting the nature, and they do it with their heart. It is very much ingrained in their cultural belief. And Raman Ram Vishnoi, he planted 27,000 trees for 50 years. So we see that they are very much committed for environment protection even in these days, where we see that environment bears mark of human greed. They are degraded due to human greed. But still in these days we have these eco warriors who are doing a great job, like planting trees, protecting wildlife. So now we know about the Bishnoi movement, but let us have a sneak peek about who the Bishnois are. So this is a subsect of Vaishnavism, and it was started by Guru Jambaji, who had a vision after a drought spell. Guru Jambaji, who used to live in the areas around Jodhpur, which is in the bordering area of Thar Desert. So after a spell of drought, after surviving severe drought, he realized that in order to survive in this very harsh climatic condition, one has to be very much uh, one has to live very much in sync with nature. One has to preserve nature in order to preserve themselves, which means that during the drought spell, the villagers, Baba Jambaji was a cattle herder. So his community, they used to, in order to protect the domesticated cattle, they chopped the khejurli tree, and in fact, in order to this green vegetation, they helped to protect the the cattle to some extent during the drought, but at the last, the due to drought condition, this chopping, the villagers, they chopped they loped, they chopped the branches of the prosopis tree so much that the entire prosopis tree, it died. But at the same time, due to the extreme drought condition, the cattle that were fed on these prosopis tree or kejeri tree, they could not also be saved due to extreme drought condition. So we see that we are using nature to the extent that it is not sustainable, but at the same time, the reason we are doing it can also not be protected. So in order to protect ourselves, we should protect nature. These were the thoughts of Guru Jambaji. So during his entire 54 years of teaching, he preached 29 commandments or 29 tenets on which the Bishnoi people, they lead their life. So since the inception in 1485, Bishnoi people have been very much um what to say, pioneer in protecting the wildlife, in conserving the wildlife, both plants and animals. And in fact, they are so much advanced in their thought that not only do they chop trees, they live in a very harsh climate, but they don't chop trees for the firewood. They walk for miles. The women folk, they walk for miles to find out dead twigs or dead branches, and only then they cook food. They mostly cook food with the cow dung cake as a fuel. And in fact, even the carpenters, they of this Vishnoi community, they wait for a tree to die and only work on dead trees but not living trees. They don't chop trees for their carpentry. They even, though Bishnois are Hindu by religion, but in order to protect nature, they bury their dead. S- because in proper cremation, the wood will be needed, and they don't want to harm nature, so they bury their dead. They even they even take care of abundant animals as their own. In fact, a picture was very much viral in the internet that a woman, they feed the kid of deer, abundant deer kid, as their own, and she was breastfeeding this kid. So you see that they are very much committed, this entire community, they are very much committed in protecting nature. And in fact, many a sacred grove or orans in Rajasthan is under the care of this Bishnoi tribe. So much a deep impact was this movement, this Bishnoi entire this sect. They had so much uh, impact that from Rajasthan it spread to even Haryana, MP, Madhya Pradesh, and in fact earlier it was just a subsect of Marwari people, that is the Marwari language speaking people. But now we can see Hindi speaking as well as Haryanvi speaking or Punjabi speaking people who have been incorporated in this sect. So we see this is the diagram. So in the very beginning, it was this area of Rajasthan that has this Vishnui, but we see now that it has spread to many other regions, even in some regions of Orissa. So we see that this pioneer movement, that is the Bishnoi movement, they have inspired the eco-conservationists of our times also. So just like The Vishnoi tribe, they maintained orans or sacred grove in order to protect the environment. Similarly, many other indigenous tribal people of India, they have also been able to maintain such sacred groves. Such type of sacred grove has been found in Meghalaya, in the Khashi and Jaintia hills of Meghalaya, in the Western Ghats, that is in the state of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. So this sacred groves goes by the name of either Mandirfan, or they are called Ubasa, Kafyu in Kerala, or they are called Dorai land or Deora land or Kovilkadu. So it has this type of sacred groves has many local names, but all nevertheless they are all protected by the tribal indigenous people. And this type of sacred grove has also been found to be growing, have to also been found in countries outside India, that is in Thailand, Donlapu forest. Donlapu forest in it is a coastal region in the Gulf of Thailand, and mangrove forests are maintained in pristine condition by the tribal people in the Thailand. Then we have the Ashanti people in Ghana. The Ashanti people, we know that this area has been very rich in minerals, especially gold, manganese, bullion. So this mineral rich area is also known for its coca as well as timber. But the Ashanti people, they maintain their sacred grove, that is the Tanobasi sacred grove. Now, this Tanobasi sacred grove is very close to the urban area, that is, it is in the peri-urban area, but still, as they are considered sacred, so these area do not, there is no chopping of trees in this area of Tanobase sacred grove in Ghana. Ghana, we know that it is in a West African country, and then we have the Mapuche tribe in Chile and Argentina. We know in South America, in the Patagonian plateau, we have this Mapuche tribe, and these are basically the hunter-gatherer people. But though they are hunter-gatherer people, they are very much protective about their trees, especially Araucaria tree. This female Araucaria tree, they are considered very sacred. Now, one thing that is common among all the tribal people throughout India as well as throughout the world is that they maintain this sacred grove because they venerate the trees. Um, they don't venerate any idol, but they venerate totems, which are basically some trees. So every tribe has got their own totem or sacred trees, and they thus, as the trees are considered sacred, so they are maintained as such in these sacred groves. So now we come to the GSET question, which came this year, that is in November. So we have to actually match the movement with the activist. Chipko movement, it was started by Sundarilal Bahuguna, that is option D. Chipko movement, it is a eco-conservation movement that occurred in Tehri Garhwal, where the village folk, they did the same thing, that is embracing the trees in order to protect these trees, and that movement was spearheaded by Sundari Lal Bahuguna. Then we have Narmada Bachao Andolon, which is basically uh, protecting the rights of the tribals across three states, that is Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. And tribals in these three states, they were getting relocated, but they were not getting any compensation. So this Narmada Bachao Andolan, along with that, along with um, the tribes not getting their right, this entire project, they will also cause devastation of flora and fauna, because a huge amount of downstream area, the area downstream to the dam will get inundated. Initially, the dam was much lower, but gradually it was decided to build it much higher. That is, it will be inundating more amount of land. So more and more people will get displaced. And this Narmada Bachao Andolan was spearheaded by Medha Patekar. That is option B. He fought for the rights of the tribal people of three states. And she was, in fact, supported by many other environmentalists as well as non-environmentalists also. Then we have this green revolution that is spearheaded by our agricultural scientist MS Swaminathan. So this will be option A, green revolution. Green revolution is actually the increase in the production of various type of crops and in India. So this green revolution is was spearheaded by MS Swaminathan. Then we have Bishnoi movement, of which I have been talking the entire video. So we know that this is spearheaded by Amrita Devi, that is option C. So we see that these are the right options. So let us see. Uh, so one is D, that is this one. Our right option will be this one. So option C will be our right option. So this was all about Bishnoi movement, and there are also many other eco-conservation movement that might come in both the set as well as net syllabus. And I'll be making those videos also one by one. And if you have any doubts about this video or you want me to make any new video, do please write it in the comment section. And I will be making videos about this eco conservation movement in India. Various videos I'll be making one by one. And if you like this video, please do share it with your friends and please do subscribe, because your subscription, it encourages me to make more such videos. Thanks again for watching this video.